Hello there, my name is Alexander Rosso, and welcome to my next episode in the Arc for Dummies series. Now, in the last video, I mentioned that now is the time to stop being a Bob. So, that being said, now is the time for me to explain to you what a Bob is. A Bob is a negative word that is used on Arc to describe someone who just hangs around near where the spawn location is. They sort of never really move on from this area. It is a negative term. It's used to basically say you're a noob. Do you want to be a Bob? No, no one wants to be a Bob. So you're probably thinking, okay, well, how do I not be a Bob? Now there are various ways of doing this. Granted, you could just try and run further into map. I don't advise this because one, you won't be able to take all your mats from your base that if you've gathered a lot with you, because you can only carry a certain amount. Two, if you've got a fair few tames, that's going to be a bit of a pain as well. But three, most importantly, you stand a very good chance of bumping into a rather dangerous dino. Last thing you want to do is have your supplies on you, or your tames, and all of a sudden the Carnotaurus come out of nowhere and rip you to shreds. Second way, you could wait until you're level, I think, 36 and tame yourself a Pteranodon, build a Pteranodon saddle and fly to another area and do multiple trips to take your supplies over there, because a Pteranodon actually can't carry that much unless you're on the server which has changed the weight ratio. Or the method that I'm going to show you, which is a lot sooner, and that is the raft. That's right, Dave, you just got a promotion, you're a captain. It's time for us to hit the open seas. Get out. Right, so the first thing we're going to need to do is build the raft. Now, you would have unlocked this by now if you started building your smithy bench and your metal tools. And a raft uses quite simple ingredients. You'll find it in the MISC folder, and it is just here. And a wooden raft is just fibre, hide and wood, and not a lot of all of those particular things. Once you've crafted that, you need to make sure you're actually in the water slightly to place it, or it won't place, and you just press E, and there you go, you have your raft. Now, you can control your raft like you would any other dino, other than the fact the raft cannot reverse. I believe that the motorboat, which you unlock a lot later on, can reverse. Whether or not you build this is up to you, as that is actually quite a heavy resource item. But I wouldn't worry about that right now, because you're a long way off of unlocking that. Now we've got our raft, we want to be able to put our stuff from our base on it. Now, I suggest, obviously, to do this, you want to be crafting yourself some storage. So, hopefully you would have unlocked this by now, the large storage box. Depending on how much stuff, depends on how many of these you'll need. I'll probably get away with only having one. Now, I haven't got the wooden thatch on me, but we're moving base. And it's always good practice that if you're about to leave a base and you have no intention of going back to it, get rid of it. Even if you've joined a server that you realise, I don't like this server, I want to change server, get rid of your base. Bases can lag out servers and they can make a real mess. And it can be a bit of a pain for the admin having to sort it out. So, if you can just do your part and clean up your mess when you're done, it makes the server a much nicer place to be. By destroying that, I got some of the mats back, so I should be able to craft a large storage box. Now, once you've got your large storage box, you can place that on your raft. That is the unique thing with rafts, you can actually build on them. Now that I've told you that you can build on them, I want to let you know that in the description I'm going to leave a link, and that is a tutorial on how to build something I call the taming raft. You can actually build structures on your raft, and in this link, which goes to my tutorial, I teach you how to build this raft, which is 1, it's a small base, 2, it's a taming raft, so it actually has a trap on the back of it, perfect for taming your small tames. This is a brilliant build for early gameplay. It is good for later gameplay, and I'll be giving a lot more information on that particular build in that video. I highly recommend that you check it out. You may want to take that extra time and build it now, because it is, as I said, very useful early on. I'm, for the sake of this video, just going to be nice and quick, and we're just going to have this raft with that one wooden storage box. Now, I say, we want to be tidy and get rid of this base. You may want to take out the stuff you have in your storage boxes beforehand, as they do have a spoil timer. That's up to you. I'm a little bit encumbered now, but I've got a ton of wood on me that I don't actually need right now. I'm not that fussy, so I'm going to get rid of it. You can click this button here, which has the 2 arrows, and that will move all of your inventory into what you're looking at. Now you can do this to dinosaurs, or storage boxes, or any form of crafting bench. Now these bags are the ones that are the drops from where I've destroyed some stuff, and these boxes are where I've individually dropped them. So I know what I've dropped as rubbish. Oh, that's from a brontosaurus I killed. There we go. So there we go. Got rid of our old base, and we're packed up, ready to move location. Now you may be thinking, like, what's wrong with being a Bob? What's wrong with staying around the beginning? I've already started building there. I've got to like this area. 2 reasons. One, if you're on a PvE server, you're building in a spawn location. So you have a chance of people spawning inside your stuff, which can be annoying for you, or if they can't get out, particularly annoying for the other player. If you're on a PvP server, you're on a spawn location. People immediately now know where your base is. You become an easy target. That's why it is not good to be building in a spawn location. That being said, once you've built your raft, you've got your stuff loaded, you can now set sail. Now, if you know whereabouts you want to go on your map, you could be ahead dealing with quite a long sail journey. Now you've got to think to yourself, is this worth it? Do you want to do such a long journey to get to this location? That is up to you. You may find that if you're just starting out on Ark, you don't actually know the map too well. That's when I'd recommend looking up online for like where the resource locations are. The more you play the game, the more you'll understand the map, and you'll find certain areas which are just you particularly like for whatever reason you have. Maybe it's just got a nice view that you happen to like. I quite often pick bases based on that. So you got to make that decision. If you go ahead and do the build I said in the tutorial, that raft build, it actually is a base. So you could use that as your stopgaps until you actually finally decide, actually, I like this place. I don't recommend using the raft build as a permanent base, as although you can make it quite a strong build, it will never be as strong as a full-on proper base. So you can see the raft is not a particularly fast mode of travel, but it is a safe mode of travel. Out on the sea, there's not too much that actually wants to attack you. You might get attacked by one of those birds, but even then, I'm outrunning it. There are sharks in the water, but if you're on a raft, they're not going to hit you. The only thing that will attack you if you go out into deep waters is something called a lead cetus. They're like a giant whale. You don't stand a chance at fighting one of these as of yet, because you're just starting on, and they are quite a formidable foe. Now, I've chosen this area. Now, I'm not going to actually recommend this area. It's just, this is quite close, and it suits the purpose of my next video. This is actually a spawn location, which is why I say I'm not going to necessarily recommend you use this area. But I'm not going to make an entire video of me sailing around a map to show you an area. this video has gone on long enough. So now we got to, say, your area you want to be. Now it's time to reset up a new base. Now, depending on what you've unlocked, you are going to want to build in that. If you're still on wood, you may have to start up by building a wood base again. But in my next video, I'm going to be showing you how to take your wooden base and change it up for a stone fortress. Your first real defendable form of base. So tune in to my next video if you wish to see how I make my PvP base layouts.